We have a special guest today, Bob Oaks, Assemblyman.
Hi, everyone. It's been great. Thank you. Great to take part in this program. I want to say a couple things. One, Supervisor Steve Leroy had hoped to be here, got called out of town unexpectedly, but I talked with him yesterday and today and wanted to send his greetings to everyone. In addition, Senator Nozzolio's representative, Joan Greela, was here, had to leave, so Senator Nozzolio and Joan both send their greetings as well. I just like to say a couple things. One, I got involved with the association a few years ago when they were trying to do some work. That's smart, probably trying to tell us it should be over.
No.
Again, when efforts were trying to be done at the park, and we were able to work together to help some of those come along. But now we see so many other things, and whether it's attending the triathlon or other things, Sodus Point is a better place, both the way it looks and the activities, because of the work of the association. So to all of you, thank you for keeping that going. I grew up just on the south side of Sodus Bay, seeing Chimney Bluffs, and this mural is wonderful, and seeing history and across. We've heard a lot about different murals and what's coming. The thing I think, a lot of our small towns are sleepy sometimes. There isn't a lot open and whatever as people drive through. Sometimes there's a bit of activity in them, but one of the things I like about the murals is they're a 24/7 something that people can see and get a feel for the community, maybe bring them back even if they miss when things are open and active in the communities, but it's history. And I just want to say, some of the murals, people haven't put the information along with it. I love the fact that you can sit there so somebody who drives in can go up, read that, and go on their way. So wonderful job all around. My pleasure, in a small way, to be a part of it. I'm just here to celebrate with you today. Thank you very much.
Next on our agenda is James Hoffman, the chairman of the town supervisors.
Good afternoon. My name is Jim Hoffman. I'm the town supervisor in Williamson. I'm also chairman of the board of supervisors. I'd like to thank Bruce for inviting me here today, and I'll just say just a couple of things. One, this is a very beautiful mural and appears to be a very appropriate way to give tribute to your original culture, indigenous natives. If I got my history lesson correct, I hope. I'm trying hard. I think it's very nice. Williamson doesn't have a mural yet. We're working at it, thanks to Mark DeCracker. He referred to it, but I'll make it real clear. He actually grew up in Williamson, where I live as a supervisor. Yeah. And with that being said, I think everybody that spoke today knows a lot more about murals than I do, but it is a pleasure to be here, represent the Board of Supervisors. And I can't help but notice the last month there's been a lot of focus. This might be a shock to you, to Sodus Bay and all the issues of the water quality. That right there is some beautiful water quality, and I think that sets the visual standard for the water quality in Sodus Bay. What do you think?
Yeah!
Thanks. It's a pleasure to be here. Nice work. Thank you.
Thank you, James. Next, Peter Evans, the Wayne County historian.
Well, it's great to be here. I think Al was maybe pulling our leg a little bit. I talked to a historian at DeCracker. Now, I have to admit, he was a Shoshone. But he was married to a Mohawk. Which makes it okay, right? And he described the Native American, or the tribal influences in this area, as he understood it. And that the Iroquois nations really didn't claim territory. And he drew some diagrams for me that really were more of spheres of influence. And these ebbed and flowed over time. And with any history, you've got to say, what day is it to know what the history is? Because what might be true today wasn't true yesterday. And so he said to me, that the Bay probably went through various periods when it was principally a Seneca area. And I mean, no one lived here on a permanent basis that we are aware of. And there were other times when it went through a Cayuga area of influence. And I'm sure that there were times when they shared it. With that message, I've been doing one other thing. I have been researching the Huron, Wyandot, and their territory before European influence was the north shore of Lake Ontario. And what I'm looking at is, could it have been the Wyandot that actually brought those Norse spearheads to Charles Point? And probably knew this bay and these waters well. Because it was difficult to traverse the 20, 30 miles through the forest to get here, where the Hurons, again, a French word, Huron, ruffian, apparently in French. I don't know. It's been a long time since I took French. But I'm sure that the Huron knew these shores. And I'm trying to work with people who know or may know to establish some understanding around what other influences may have been. So I'm really glad to be here. It's a gorgeous day. And I think they're a teaching tool. And they're a point of departure for discussion. Thank you.
Future plans. What are we going to be doing in the future? This mural is not the end of the murals. Sodus Point is actually just the beginning. As we've alluded to several times, a second mural is being drawn, even as we speak, by James. It's going to be to commemorate the Battle of Sodus Point that occurred here on June 19th, 1813. We've got a sketch of it over here. It's going to be put on this wall right next to it. And it should be finished sometime this fall, and we'll be doing this again in the spring. Above and beyond that, we're going to be hopefully continuing on with enough support and do 2 more murals on the other side. We're debating what those images are going to be. A couple of things that have been talked about is possibly the involvement of the Underground Railroad here in Sodus Point and in Maxwell Creek. And possibly James Fenimore Cooper writing the last Mohegans or the second half of the book on Charles Point. That's another possibility. We have no shortage of stories. We've got more stories than we have mural space. Another exciting thing that's going to be happening next June or July is we have a young artist or a young lady from California who is the grand niece of Augustus Hoffman, who found the Viking spearhead on Charles Point. She wants to come in and do a mural about her great grand uncle finding the Norse spearhead, and in the background is a Viking ship coming out of the mist. We're excited about that happening, and that's hopefully going to happen this summer. But above and beyond all that mural, teaching history, which is really the major purpose, so people can understand the rich history we have in Sodus Point. We're talking about, when all these murals are done, having self-guided tours of Sodus Point and perhaps guided tours, where people can come to each one of these murals and read the story and understand the history of our town. And that's really our long-term goal, is to bring this history, the rich history of this area to light, and let people know about what happened in this small town and community that we have. I'm going to end it today. Mark tells me that these murals should last 35 years approximately. And that's great, because in 35 years, that's enough time to tell the history of Sodus Point in our community to our children. It's enough time to tell the story of Sodus Point and its area to our grandchildren. And most importantly, if I can live 35 more years, I'll finally be a Sodus Pointer. So thank you for coming today. We have a reception. We have cookies and punch and apples and all sorts of goodies. And while we're here, we're going to have the band, the Irish band here, playing for us.
All right.
And also, anybody who wants to donate to the continuation of these murals will be more than happy to take your donations. So thank you all for coming, and we really appreciate your support. Thanks a lot.
That's what we were just asking too.